What's going on, everybody? Mark Veer back again with the ref report. We're going to dive into obvious fouls. Had a lot of referees hit me up, and we talk a lot about plays that we need to go get, plays we don't, especially obviously out of primary. So this would be a video. I'm going to have 3 clips. Actually, I got these clips from IABO, really good clip. A lot more professional than my clips, as you'll see. So let's just talk about obvious fouls, right? So put a few kind of keywords out here. What is an obvious foul? So this is going to be clear illegal contact. These are just words to think about when you're like, do I need to go get that play possibly out of primary? It hinders freedom of movement. That could be for either offense or defense, right? Not a legitimate play on the ball. A visible disadvantage for either player or team. Easy to see it in real time. Like this isn't something like, I'm not sure if I should get that. As soon as you see it, antennas go up. Yeah, that's an easy one. I need to, need to go get that. Defendable on film. We've always talked about beating the tape. Got to be there. And then in your rule book as well. Because typically when we come out of primary, I got some clips on the next one. Coach is not going to be happy. Now, they may agree with the call, but I've seen so many coaches start, well, he or she is right there. How are you going to get that from over there? We've all heard that, right? So make sure that it's defendable in film and that you can actually explain to the coach and with some rulebook terminologies. So just remember, when you're coming out of primary, you better be throwing strikes and then be ready for some heat and give yourself some time to what you're going to say to that coach if that interaction does happen, okay? All right, so we're going to have 3 clips. The first clip is going to be a pass crash. The second clip is going to be a rebound foul, and the last one's going to be a ball screen, okay? I'll run it full time because they do a nice job of actually doing slow-mos and those type of things. So here's the play. Bam. You got to start telling yourself, does this play fit the criteria or the keywords that we just said, right? And on these videos, all of them do. These are obvious fouls, right? So I can tell you on all 3 clips why we miss these plays. And I want you to watch the referee's eyes on all 3 of them. Here we have a potential block charge play, pass crash play. We're going to have something that's going to happen in the paint. Yes, we'd love for Lee to get through the end line a little quicker, possibly get to close down, have a look, or possibly get wide. We got to get to this defender. Number 10 is in our way, so that's a problem for us. And this is why it can actually be potentially a help play. You've got to think, especially if you're at center or trail in this play, center first and trail, you see this crash. And what we need to do is, one, be patient. And we'll talk about that later with some takeaways. But then also get your eyes to your partner. And as you can see, your partner follows the basketball. Like that should be a trigger for you, like, oh, they didn't stay with the crash. So they didn't see the illegal contact. Oh, that gives me the green light. Boom, I come in and we're going to get a whistle on this. We're going to have offensive foul and block, not getting in a judgment. I think we can all agree this play needs a whistle. Like we got to have a whistle on this play. It's way too much contact to have a no call on this one, right? You got to determine what you have. I'm not going to get into that. We've done block charge plays and videos. You can be the judge as far as that. But this is a play that any referee can get. This is a team officiating play. Somebody on the crew needs to come get this. And that referee at lead, next time they see you, it's going to be, thank you, my bad, my eyes followed the ball. And it happens, right? Yes, we need to be more disciplined in our fundamentals, stay with the crash, let the outside referees go with the basketball. But it does happen. It happens all the time. Sometimes we lose focus. I had a play the other day that same concept, I needed some help. And that was a conversation we had. So absolutely, these are plays that are good for the game. They fit the game, and these are obvious. Need a whistle. Next play, okay? Rebound coverage. And we'll get into rebounding coverages on another video. I'll just touch on this. The shot is coming from strong side. We assume that the basketball is going to come off on the other side. That's percentage. So shot comes from trail side. Here's our center, and we already have these plays highlighted. We cannot follow the basketball. We don't need to worry about that. We need to get to our action areas. As you can see, when I run this play, that our problem players is going to be these 2 in center's primary. Our eyes immediately need to go to whom? The defender. We miss most rebound plays when the ball is in the air, not when it comes off the rim. It's when the ball's in flight and we have clamps, we have holds, we have hooks, we have push outs, displacements, you name it. Right now, we have a lot going on this. We have engagement, we have an engagement, we have another one, and about to have. We have four potential matchups, 8 players, and the only two that are not are at the top of the key. You got some discipline here. You've got to just go to which one. You got to guess right. We can't be trying to find 2 or 3 matchups. You got to go to one. Center has to take this one. Lead is doing a nice job getting to this one. That's their problem. Trail will need to go to over here and just go to one of them, right? We got to get lucky sometimes, and the fish ain't just being real. But center has to get their eyes to this matchup right here. Ball is in flight. This is obvious. Obvious. This is a displacement foul. This is a walk under, whatever you want to call it. Balls in flat. This is not a box out. And yes, we hear it all the time. That's a box out. That is not a box out. And unfortunately, a lot of coaches do teach this, and they feel that they can continue to drive a player out when they're airborne. This is illegal. You cannot do this. That player is vulnerable. It's a dangerous play. This is a obvious rebound foul. Who can get this play? Anybody. Yes, it is center's primary. We would love to have a primary whistle from center. Lead gets to it late, but can still see that. Lead would be the next one. And then trail, if you have any kind of look, it's tough for you. But if you're able to see this and it's obvious, this would be a crew-saving whistle. We need to get this play, okay? Obvious. Take obvious off the table. And the last play, they'll show it again in slow-mo. The last play is going to be a ball screen. Now, we should be pre-gaming. This is a 2-person game, but let's just say we've got 3-person purposes. We have lead is on the baseline. We have center would be on the far side. We do need to get, if there's nothing in your primary, multiple eyes. We say 2 eyes. If we can get 2 eyes on multiple screens. Now, let's just say this is 3-person and trail is on ball handler dribbler, right? This potential high ball screen does start somewhat in the middle of the paint. Lead, if they're this side, that don't have a very competitive matchup here. Let's just say lead is over here. This is coming somewhat from their primary. Their eyes can extend up to this screen if they have nothing in their primary. This is, again, called good team officiating, and try to help your referee when you can. Let's say center's over here and center has nothing in their primary. They can also help on this screening action. I'm not saying you need to come get it every single time, but you do need to have some awareness if there's nothing in your primary, because what happens a lot, if you'll see on this play, we have a trend here. Look at trail's eyes. They are on the ball handler dribbler. Our eyes need to get to the screener and the primary defender. So as soon, and he does a nice job of getting under this. He's in a good position. Just our eye placement is not disciplined. Our eyes need to go to the defender for a possible hit, a hold or maybe they get up into the ball handler dribble, a body bump or something like that. And then they also get their eyes to the screener. If you look right through here, now you have both matchups. We can get to our secondary matchup. Right away, you can see this is not a screen and roll. They don't even set a screen. The screener needs to set a screen first, and then they can roll. They, before there's any contact, immediately roll into the defensive player. And we've got a shoulder contact above the neck. Boom, right here, okay? I'm not saying this constitutes an intentional foul and things like that, but it's an illegal screen. Unfortunately, we miss it because our eyes go here, and obviously it's a 2-person game. It's really hard for this lead to come get it. Lead is actually on this and probably thinks it's a legal screen. It's just too far to get. But 3-person mechanics. Can lead get this on the baseline? Yes. Could center come over here? Yes. There's not anything else that is competitive where we can't come and help. Now, yes, I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on the trail to get this because this is just 4 players and really 3. And if I'm being real nitpicky, it's really only 2 because there's not much pressure. There's no trap on the ball screen. These are the 2 that are engaged. We should be able to referee that at trail, but this is an obvious foul. Obvious foul. We need to get these. As you can see, he holds his face, those type of things, and we're still on the basketball. So if this was a 3-person crew, definitely defendable in film if somebody would come out of their primary to get this. It's obvious, it's illegal. Freedom of movement, all the checklists, all the keywords that we had earlier are there. So this is the play that we need to go get. Okay. We've talked a lot about when to come out of primary. So I'm going to give you the 3 Bs. And a lot of people have talked about this. This is out there on many other referee platforms. The 3 Bs are, number one, we want to be late. Why do we want to be late? Because we want to give the primary referee first crack at it. And then we also want to process it. If we're coming out of primary, we don't want to be quick because then we're reacting to what happened. Keep the air low, take your time, process it. And then when we come out, we want to be late. Be needed. Like I'll get to some place maybe later where we don't need to come out of primary, but all these 3, we are needed to get those because they're good for the game. And number 3, we got to be right. When we talk about throwing strikes, all 3 of those criterias have to fit. You just can't be late and I'm good. You just can't be needed. And you just can't be right because sometimes it may not fit the game. You may not be needed to do that. So all of these, be late, be needed, and be right. That's a really easy checklist to talk about. And I would talk about out of primary plays. I do in all my pre-games because they're going to happen. And us as referees, we can't have egos when somebody does that, okay? Now, yes, we don't want a referee blowing all over the court the entire game, but when they're needed, when they're right, and it's a big obvious play, it's good for the game, right? And that's what we're trying to do, right? We miss plays, we take our eyes off certain matchups like these 3 officials did. At the end of the day, we're just trying to do the best job out there. Nobody out here is intentionally trying to miss plays. So this is the checklist that you can take with you, okay? Hopefully that helps. Again, any questions, here's my email, refreport1@gmail. Next one, I'm going to continue to dive into some obvious plays. We'll probably get ones that do a good job, where we do come out of primary, all the things that I talked about. And then I may do another video on ones where we probably just need to stay away from those because those are tricky plays. I know a lot of you are going through this in your games, so hopefully this helped. Talk about it in your pre-games coming up, and you know the drill. Let's be better together, y'all.